High in the mountains where the clouds brushed the tips of the trees and the air hummed with serenity, lay a Zen monastery renowned for its practice of silence. This monastery attracted seekers from far and wide, each searching for enlightenment in the profound stillness that filled its halls. Among these seekers was a young monk named Tetsuo. He was full of energy and enthusiasm, but also plagued by an impatient mind. Tetsuo had recently joined the monastery and found its rule of silence perplexing. He believed that wisdom came from words, from dialogue, from the exchange of thoughts and ideas. How could silence, a mere absence of speech, hold any power? Unable to suppress his curiosity, Tetsuo approached the revered head monk, Master Ryokan, one morning. Bowing respectfully, he asked, "Master, everyone here speaks of the power of silence. But how can silence, which is simply the lack of words, be powerful? Surely it is in words that truth is revealed, not in silence." Master Ryokan listened with a serene expression, his eyes twinkling as though amused by the young monk's restlessness. Without answering directly, he motioned for Tetsuo to follow him. They walked through the monastery gardens, past rows of blooming cherry trees, until they reached a small stream that flowed gently over smooth stones. The master stood by the stream, his gaze fixed on the flowing water. For a long time he said nothing. Tetsuo waited, growing increasingly restless as the silence stretched on. Finally, unable to contain himself, he asked, "Master, what are you trying to teach me by bringing me here? What is the stream trying to say?" Master Ryokan turned to him and spoke softly. "Tetsuo, the stream does not speak, yet it shapes mountains. It wears down stone, creates paths, and sustains life. Silence, like the stream, is not empty. It is full of movement and power. It teaches patience and reveals truth that words cannot." Tetsuo frowned, his youthful impatience still clouding his understanding. "But how can I learn anything in silence, Master? Shouldn't wisdom be shared through teaching and discussion?" The master smiled as though anticipating the question. "Silence is not the absence of teaching, my son. It is the space where true learning begins. Words can only point to the truth. Silence allows you to feel it." Determined to understand, Tetsuo decided to take a vow of silence for 1 week. At first, the experience was excruciating. His mind, unrestrained by speech, filled the void with a chaotic stream of thoughts, memories, and worries. The silence felt suffocating, as though it magnified his inner turmoil. But as the days passed, something began to shift. On the third day, Tetsuo noticed the subtleties around him, the delicate rustling of leaves in the wind, the gentle chirping of crickets, the soft patter of rain on the monastery's stone roof. These sounds, unnoticed before, seemed to carry a depth and harmony that calmed his restless mind. By the fifth day, Tetsuo's thoughts had slowed, like a stream settling after a storm. In the stillness, he began to feel a sense of clarity and presence. He realized that much of his previous turmoil came from his incessant need to speak, to question, and to seek answers outside himself. Silence had turned his attention inward, showing him the answers that lay within. When the week ended, Tetsuo approached Master Ryokan again. This time he bowed deeply, his face glowing with newfound serenity. "Master," he said, "I now understand what you meant. Silence is not the absence of sound or speech. It is a presence in itself. It reveals the beauty of the moment and the truth within our hearts. It is in silence that the mind sharpens, the heart softens, and wisdom grows." Master Ryokan nodded, his expression one of quiet pride. "You have learned well, Tetsuo. Remember this lesson, for in a world filled with noise, silence is a rare treasure. It is in silence that we find our true selves, unmasked and unburdened by the chatter of the world. Let it be your guide." From that day forward, Tetsuo embraced silence as a vital part of his practice. It became not a restraint but a refuge, a wellspring of strength and understanding. He carried its lesson with him through the years, sharing its power not through words but through the stillness of his presence. This story reminds us that silence is not emptiness, but fullness, a space where clarity, peace, and wisdom dwell. In a noisy world, it invites us to pause, to listen, and to rediscover the profound truths that lie just beneath the surface of sound.